Y'all fought for gay rights for 20, 30 years. We said nothing. Maybe we should fight for straight rights.
Oh no, my brain cells! I'm not a history buff, but I feel like we've probably been fighting for gay rights for a little more than 30 years. Hip-hop's favorite anti-queer icon, Boosie Badazz, is throwing a topless pool party just in time for Pride. Maybe not so much, because according to Mr. Badazz himself, this is not going to be a party for the dolls. Before we get into this story, if you haven't subscribed yet, go on ahead and hit that button. World's biggest pool party. How can you call it the world's biggest pool party before it's even happened? Sorry, I'm getting over a head cold. Sorry, no T-words allowed at the topless pool party. We'll be checking Adam's apples and strong features and large hands. I tried to be respectful. I said MS. So MS trans is trans women. Okay. Does that mean trans men are invited? Are non-binary people invited? Or you ever play the game Glassdoor where there's some imaginary party and you have to guess what things you can bring with you to the party, and then the person who's throwing the party will tell you yes or no, but they won't actually tell you what criteria, like what... Look, you gotta play the game. I was gonna read some of the Twitter comments, but I'm not comfortable reading a good 90% of whatever the fuck is on there. We're gonna go over to Angela Yee's post of this story and see what people are talking about on there. When you ask for an invite, you gotta know who you're asking or risk getting a certain kind of response. As a queer person in general, I would not want to be within 100 feet of Boosie Badazz. He's very well documented to have very negative, borderline violent feelings towards the queer community.
Like Lil Nas and say he wanted to perform naked for charity. You don't tell this little ass nothing. If he taking it too far, go suck a on IG. Get in your ass.
So when I see his face on a flyer for a pool party, I know straight out the gate that that is not a pool party for me. I don't want to try to convince you to invite me, because even if you do invite me, I'm going to be in danger because you attract people who are equally as homophobic and transphobic as you are. No, thank you. I'm gonna stay home, maybe go to the public pool later. He's so worried they want him. This makes me think of something I'm sure a lot of gay men experience.
I don't care that you're gay as long as you aren't gay at me.
Bro, what makes you assume you are my type? Trans women aren't checking for you. They don't want you, Boosie. Maybe they just want to have a good time around other hot people on a hot day in a cold pool with some nice drinks.
Unacceptable!
People offended like they was gonna get invited. LOL. Throw your own party and invite whoever you want. I don't think we're making the point that Boosie needs to invite trans people. Like I said, he is transphobic. He is homophobic. So inviting queer people to his party is going to put them at risk. The problem is the bigotry. The problem is how comfortable people are flaunting their prejudice as if it is preference. We don't need every single celebrity to be an SJW.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
What I do like to normalize is having conversations about the way that some celebrities are contributing to systems of oppression. Imagine a white man throws a party and he's talking about no niggers allowed. Obviously, we ain't going for that, right?
False equivalence. It's not the same thing.
Let's use our critical thinking skills so that we can see the parallels. White people hold the power. Cis men hold the power. If a white man says no nigga bitches, then that white man is using his social standing as a white man to discriminate against black women or black people in general. A cisgender man says no trans slurs, that is using his standing as a cisgender man to discriminate against trans women.
Hey man, that's not cool.
I can see where people are coming from when they make the argument that race is not the same thing as gender or sexuality, but even Stevie Wonder can see that there is a shared struggle. The connecting thread between race, gender, and sexuality is that these are all parts of our identities that we are born into that place us at a higher risk for harm. When people claim false equivalence, they're coming from the misconception that all these struggles are separate, when in reality, there is only one true struggle: the struggle against a system of power that thrives off the pain of the people. They're viewing these struggles as if they're in competition with one another for recognition. And it can feel like that sometimes, the way that our society might value one issue over another depending on what is profitable in that particular moment. However, the ultimate truth is, when black people are in trouble, when trans people are in trouble, we show up for each other. And when we're not showing up for each other, then we're just playing into whoever's hands that benefit from us being divided. Y'all mad because he has boundaries at his damn party. Diddy got you soon. Be patient. Wow, there's a lot going on in this comment. I don't know if we can call discrimination boundaries. It's one thing to have a preference for what you are personally attracted to. It's another thing to say,
trans people aren't welcome here.
If you think black people are thugs and hoodlums, you are not invited to the party. If you think gay people are sexually deviant sinners, you are not invited to the party. If you don't think women should be able to choose what to do with their own bodies, you are not invited to the party. Especially not if you're gonna be in there fucking. I will discriminate in these ways because that is discrimination based off of your ideals, not your identity. Your ideals will tell me if you are safe to be around. Your identity is a piece of you that does not, should not affect anyone but you. Diddy got you soon. Why? I hate the way that any and all things gay warrant a Diddy mention, because that tells me we see him more as a gay man than an abuser.
No Diddy.
But y'all not gonna say no Diddy when it's a grown man stomping out a woman. Boosie has issued a reply to the internet and their response to his blatant transphobia. Let's see what he has to say. We're probably going to lose a few brain cells in the process, so after this, you might want to go read like some bell hooks or something.
For everybody going nuts about me not wanting at my party.
I find it kind of fascinating that Boosie chooses not to use the trans slur here, but also refuses to just say trans women. It's like that's not even a part of his vocabulary.
It's the same thing if they say no alcohol in the building.
Huh?
Whatever we checking for, it's the same thing as people saying, you gotta bring clear bags. What? It's the same thing when you go in a restaurant and they say no rips in the jeans.
Okay. It's the same as saying no alcohol. I guess what Boosie is saying is that trans women are so intoxicating and so beautiful and so attractive that he just can't control himself when they are in his presence, and he just loses control. Maybe learn how to control yourself better, but comparing trans women to alcohol is crazy. He said it's like saying that we need to make sure people have clear bags so that there's not weapons in there. What makes you feel like a dick in a dress is the same as a pistol in a backpack? You think she's just gonna pull it out and nut on someone? Like,
Come on now, dawg.
he said it's just like having a dress code that says no ripped pants in a restaurant. First of all, those dress codes are like weird and elitist, so that's already not a great comparison to make.
These people own this establishment and there's certain things they don't go for.
But you have to ask why they don't go for these certain things, Boosie. No ski masks, no baggy pants, no sneakers. They say these things because these are things that are linked to the black community. Jim Crow ass rules, bro.
I own this place and I just have a preference that everyone wears a certain type of clothes.
No, it is a targeted attack on people who are connected to those types of fashion. You're excusing your transphobia by comparing it to racism and classism. It's not hitting like you think it's hitting, Boosie.
This ain't it.
It's not surprising at all to hear Boosie leaning on respectability politics to justify the exclusion of trans people. Because for bigoted people such as himself, it's not enough just to disagree with trans rights, for example, but it has to come down to trans people are less respectable. Because when we talk about dress codes, that also comes down to respectability. I expect you to wear a suit and tie because that is the attire connected to respectable people, people with money or people without melanin. And I have to mention, being transgender isn't an outfit that you can just switch out. You know, let me just put my boy clothes on and just be a boy. It's not how it works.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
But now you want to say you're gay. You want to bully people.
Some of the comments I didn't read were suggesting that maybe Boosie isn't as straight as he would like us to think because of how frequently Boosie is thinking about queer things and queer people. I don't know, it gets to a point, bruh. I mean, it's your party, so invite who you want. But it seems like you think about the LGBTQ community way too often. Someone said, it's the usual story for most DL men. He's just another queen stuck in the closet. So I guess Boosie is upset that people are calling him gay. I don't love the gay accusations either because there's nothing that links a transphobic or homophobic person to them secretly being gay. There is definitely internalized homophobia and internalized transphobia, but it's okay to just call a bigot a bigot.
Y'all fought for gay rights for 20, 30 years. We said nothing. Maybe we should fight for straight rights.
Oh no, my brain cells! I'm not a history buff, but I feel like we've probably been fighting for gay rights for a little more than 30 years. The suggestion that maybe we should fight for straight rights, that is literally happening right now, as well as the fight for white rights. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, there have been 530 anti-LGBTQ bills proposed in the U.S. this year. Curriculum censorship, school sports bans, healthcare restrictions, drag bans, forced outing in schools. Yo, when I say the fight for straight rights is happening right now, what that actually looks like is a fight against gay rights, against trans rights. If these straight rights activists win that fight, that would directly contribute to the rising suicide rate of queer people. If you want to hear me talk more about that issue specifically, go check out my last video after you finish this one. But please do finish this one. I don't want to fuck up my retention rate. Do I even have a retention rate yet? This is my second video. Why am I self-promoting right now? There's more important issues, goddammit.
You can't even say, you can't even go against. You can't even go against it. If you're not with it, you can't even go against it.
I don't like wearing the color yellow. I don't feel like it looks good with like my skin tone and like I don't fuck with it. But if you want to wear yellow, go ahead. Ain't got nothing to do with me. That's how you express yourself. That's who you are.
Okay.
You're a yellow ass nigga. Great. I'm not gonna wear yellow. Seeing you wear yellow isn't gonna make me feel like I need to wear yellow. Even if you told me,
Hey, bro, you should really wear yellow. It's a great color.
yeah, it's a great color on you. No, I'm not going for it. There's no reason why I would need to go online and tell the people,
Y'all been fighting for the right to wear yellow shirts for 30 years, nigga. What about black t-shirts? What about those? Maybe we should start fighting for those.
I'm kind of missing the point a little bit with the t-shirt analogy, but I think you can see the ridiculousness.
Y'all get that offensive. I got real players, real bosses. I mean, football people, NBA people, attorneys.
For some reason, he thinks that men of high status are as disgusted by them as he is. A lot of these niggas will be perfectly okay hooking up with trans women, playing with the dick and all this and all that. And then as soon as it comes out that they were hooking up with a trans woman, now they got something to say.
You a man, right?
A trans. Did you care about that when you were trying to kiss me?
Trying to kiss you? Yeah, I didn't know you was a man.
You mad? Yeah, you did.
That's my establishment. If I'm not going for it, I'm not going for it. Simple as that. I don't want nobody licked and tricked.
He said, no, you don't want nobody what? So let me get this straight. You're trying to protect your friends from being manipulated into hooking up with the trans girl? What do you think? They got like fucking Jedi mind tricks? If you see a baddie, she looking good, she make you feel good when you talking to her, y'all start vibing, getting intimate, and then y'all, well, you know, there's no false pretenses. Unless she specifically says,
I am a cisgender woman.
No lies were told. You are looking at a woman. You are talking with a woman. You are making out with a woman. You are grabbing the dick of a woman. The only deceit is that you have deceived yourself into believing that every woman must have a coochie and anyone with a dick must be a man. But you can't put that on her just because you found her attractive, and that confuses you in your limited understanding of your own sexuality. There's no need to worry. If you're a man who's attracted to a trans woman, that does not make you gay. Trans women are women. What makes a woman, take this with a grain of salt coming from a man, is not what is between their legs. Now, I probably shouldn't be the person to try to tell you what does make a woman a woman. Maybe ask a woman. But what I can say is it is not their genitalia. What is it they say? Hearts, not parts? I don't know if that applies, but I think it's cute. Oh, I just realized lick as in theft. Oh, you could tell I didn't grow up with black people.
You know, I'm protecting people. I'm protecting a lot of people's reputation. And it's my establishment. Just like when you go to certain restaurants and you can't wear ripped jeans. When you own something, you have the right to set the rules of your establishment. Same thing if you go and see somebody in a prison.
I mean, he's not wrong to say that he gets to choose who is and who isn't allowed. I mean, I've had birthday parties before where I told motherfuckers they can't go just because I don't like them. But the problem isn't who is and who isn't invited. The problem is, why is it 2026 and you feel like we need to fight for straight rights against gay rights, against trans rights? That's the fucking problem.
Certain clothes you can't wear. Certain things you can't do. This fucking world is out of control. It's sad.
I hope the world continues to become increasingly out of control. Whoever has been in control, straight people, cisgender people, white people, rich people, are slowly losing their grip on society. People are becoming more empowered to say, I'm not going to follow your rules because your rules make it harder for me to exist and be who I am. You say I'm a boy, I need to dress like a boy. I say no. You say I was born with a coochie, therefore I have to grow up and be a woman. No, sir. That is very scary for people who have been diseducated about the existence of queer people as a whole.
Men are wearing dresses and women are bumping coochies.
It feels like a threat to them because it represents a world that they do not understand. It's the fear of the unknown. But instead of sitting in the unknown and maybe seeking out information to help them learn, they rather jump straight to demonizing whoever falls under the umbrella of what they don't know. The world of 2026 is very different from the world of 2006. So much has happened in the last 20 years, and a lot of people just can't deal with it. I don't know how much empathy I can hold in my heart for the people who just yearn for the good old days when men were men and women were still too afraid of getting beat the fuck up by their husbands to have opinions. However, I can at least acknowledge where they might be coming from. And where they're coming from seems to be an outdated and toxic idea of what it means to be human. And I hope these people eventually can learn how to acknowledge where they're actually coming from instead of leaning on virtue and righteousness and respectability to keep people between the lines of what they were taught is acceptable. Not only would that be reducing the amount of harm aimed at marginalized communities, but it would also be setting these people free from generations of bigotry that they've been taught to uphold. There's a very loud minority of people who are like,
Yeah, straight rights. Take the men out of the dresses.
but that doesn't reflect society in 2026. I mean, I don't know everyone. Nobody does. But in my experience of meeting people, talking to people, having deeper discussions about identity and life and politics or whatever, most people would agree people should be allowed to just exist and do their thing. Even for people who feel like being trans is wrong or unnatural or whatever, a lot of those people are like,
Yeah, go ahead though. I disagree with it, but I agree with your right to be you.
I think a lot more people echo that sentiment than whatever the fuck Boosie over here talking about. And for the record, I cannot stand when a motherfucker just has to let you know they support what you're doing, they don't like what you're doing. If you support it, but you don't like it, why not just tell me that you support it? Why does your support have to come with the side of disapproval? Is that really necessary? I hope that Boosie and the people who agree with Boosie at some point in their lives will take the opportunity to educate themselves about the queer community. The queer struggle and the black struggle are very closely connected. Being homophobic, being transphobic, some of the widest shit you could possibly do. And also some of the least hip hop shit you can do as well. Because if you break down the meaning of hip hop, being hip is to know. You have information. You have a sense of wisdom. Hop, you are springing into action. You are creating movement. Hip hop, you are creating a movement based off of your knowledge, based off of your wisdom. So people who are diseducated using that ignorance to support a movement of more ignorance, it's just unhip hop. What was it D1 said?
That ain't hip hop, no. That's hypocritical hop. Hypocritical hop. Hypocritical hop.
You know what, Boosie? I hope you have a wonderful pool party. I hope you make some beautiful new memories, and I pray that no trans women will be harmed in the process. I actually have faith that someday you'll be able to finally get over your fear of the unknown. I have faith that someday you'll understand that just because something is unfamiliar to you doesn't mean it's a threat to you. I have faith that someday you'll understand that just because people are living lives that you don't personally agree with doesn't mean you should try and lead a movement against their right to exist as another human on this earth. If you really want to lead a movement in our community, try leading with love. You'll probably get a lot farther. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I have already lost a significant amount of brain cells talking about this story, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Happy Pride Month. You're not gonna say bless you?